Let's talk about how much I love the music. Let's do this proper. Guys, pretend we just loaded into this game. Spawning here in the lower left corner of the map. He's red, he's true. Give it up, it's Acer's Nerchio. And his opponent in the lower right. He's actually won a couple of these weekly cups since DreamHack, but of course DreamHack being his most recent win, it is none other than your DreamHack Summer Champion, My Insanity Stardust. And he's already going out on the map to scout very early. Nothing crazy. This wasn't like, oh my god, he pulled the probe, he's gonna far proxy. But this will allow him to figure out where his opponent is. And the best part, like the single best part about being a Protoss player, is if there's that one game. Now this is gonna be like one time in a million where Nerchio doesn't have his natural watched. Oh wow, this is a voice crack. Welcome to puberty. If he doesn't have his natural watched, you can actually put down one pylon, one cannon behind the mineral lines, completely deny a base for the cost of 250 minerals. Now, of course, that's not something that often happens. It's not something Nerchio, if anybody, would really allow to happen. I see the probe come up here. He's going to keep an eye on this, absolutely for sure. Now, I cannot, in the life of me, see Stardust being able to pull something off against Nerchio. But man, I would go fucking insane if that actually happened. Because Nerchio, guys, there's so few players I can say this confidently about. I do not believe, I truly do not believe there's a single cheese or player that could beat Nerchio with crazy tactics like that. He has seen them all. I have seen him them all, and I've seen him hold every single variation of everything off. And Stardust hiding the probe. I mean, this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to try and put a pylon down there, but Nerchio coming out with a drone just to scout. Why the hell not? It's what he does. The coolest thing Nerchio does, by the way, I'll point this out. If you guys ever watch him versus Terran, he doesn't do it 100% of games, but seriously, like 90% of the games. What he does is he actually gets a drone out. Oh, actually, talk about this in a second. Probe about to die. Anyways, he'll have a drone out here patrolling. Because he doesn't want to get caught off guard by like an 11-11 Rax. And it's a very small investment for like 30 seconds of patrolling to make sure that you're not going to get cheesed and defeated. But yeah, this is the final game, guys. The final of the finals. I hope you're going to enjoy this. The fact that this is Whirlwind, it might trick you into thinking macro play might be afoot, especially with the Forge Fast Expand. But that rarely seems to happen on this map. That probe gets away with 4 health remaining, thanks to the shield regen of Protoss being a pretty cool mechanic. And just, I mean, again, that assessment here, where Nerchio's taking the 3 bases. Again, we kind of have that DC in game 2, so I don't know if Stardust opened and Forge Fast Expand there. The last game, though, I mean, I think a big part of why he chose to do this, not only is the fact that it's Whirlwind and you want to macro like crazy on a big map like this, but the way the game went last time for him, when he didn't go for a Forge Fast Expand, was probably the worst it possibly could have. So I do like that he's doing safe than sorry. And I'm gonna have to take a comment. Very rarely will I interject with something like I love keeping up with you guys in chat, but Succumb, man, to call Nerchio anything close to a patch Zerg is the most ignorant and wrong thing you could do. Nerchio is so good at this game. It's really hard to classify him as a patch Zerg, and I would absolutely never do that, despite how much you may or may not like the guy. But I like this really cool hidden Stargate position coming out of Stardust. This is going to be unexpected, and like I said earlier, unexpected, weird, and different might be what catches Nerchio off guard. It's going to be double... Okay, this is absolutely weird. At first I thought this was like, oh, alright, he's just putting one. He'll do maybe an Oracle, he'll come out of nowhere, catch Nerchio off guard, but this is double Stargate in a proxy hidden upper left, however you want to phrase it. It's a ninja. It's a ninja, I guess, forward base, an outpost, if you will. Void Rays will absolutely be coming out of this, because his goal with this expansion, or not, sorry, well, what Stardust's goal is to take out this expansion. He wants to get in with the Void Rays. He's going to overcharge them, Prismatic Align, sorry. Wrong unit, wrong skill. Prismatic Align the Void Rays to melt this expansion. And if Nerchio's without a base, it doesn't matter how many drones you have, because of course your economy is going to be stinted. Now, ooh, Zealot taking out a good fight here. Actually, could be able to, it should get this last Ling. Talk about a veteran. 5 kills on a Zealot, guys. Very rarely are you ever going to see that, especially near creep. But anyways, Nerchio's base, if he loses the 3rd base early, that's absolutely going to suck for him. And he's going to come in here with a Zealot. just to confirm that, yeah, there's a base that's really saturated here. I think he already saw the base. No, but he saw the creep, so he knows it's there. And on the other side of the field, he doesn't really have to worry too much about counterattacks. He has that lovely forge with the cannon up here at the front lines. No Lings will get in here anytime soon. And once there's 4... Oh, he's going to go out with 2. Okay, that's really bold. Oh, because the other ones are almost finished. Typically, he'll go out with 4 and just charge it and run. But the Spore Crawler is coming down here. Zealot's going to come in as well. Might snipe off the Queen first, but the Spore Crawler, he can't take this with just 2. Alright, gonna hold position here on the Void Race. Doesn't want to get any closer, of course. Queens can outrange Void Race by 1 for those who do not know. Where's the ranged weapon attacks? Yeah, there we go. 7, and Void Race, I believe, have 6. Yep, so hold position, never going to be the best. Stardust really should have waited for 4. He should have waited for 4 and just melted down the Spore Crawler immediately. But Stalker going to come in here, try and poke a bit here. He, of course, wants to try and not engage on top of the Spore Crawler for as long as possible. And of course, he can't really commit too much to this offensive attack. Nurchio sent a huge plunge of Lings across the field. Stardust will have to warp in a sentry if he wants to hold this. But this base, okay, he sees how many Lings are flooding out. He's got the Phoenix here to pick up one of the Queens, actually. Not for real damage. That or it's a misclick. But either way, back at home, not even going to warp in a sentry and instead throw down more buildings. But Stardust now doesn't have anything to chip away at these Lings. It doesn't matter how many buildings he throws down, these will not die. Stardust is going to sacrifice a bit at home to get this base killed. More pylons coming down. Stardust in perhaps a bit of panic. Now warping in some units. Sentries coming down. But oh my god, guys. This is a panic, but a beautiful response. He's going to lose... Oh no! He didn't get the force field off. The sentry's now coming down and canceling everything here. What is happening here for Stardust? Falling apart back at home, trying to get that Cybernetics Core back ASAP. Meanwhile, the third base was taken out. Void Race still floating around the field, but these Lings flooding across the field. Stardust doesn't have a Mothership Core. He doesn't have enough to warp in. This base has got Zealots coming in now. The cooldown, of course, off. Stardust going to do what he can to hold this, but man, Nurchio coming in with relentless amounts of Zerglings. Meanwhile, Stardust is continuing to push offensively, going to pick off the Spore Crawlers before they complete, but of course he's got 5 Void Rays, so it does not really matter if they complete. He's going to need a lot of transfuses if he wants to hold. Nurchio going to chase this off for the time being. Meanwhile, the main base has been attacked. Nurchio's not killed too many pros, but he's killed a lot of the infrastructure here of Stardust. He broke that wall, and this base still has not been cleaned up correctly. Stardust should hold this, though, I believe. Unless he makes a massive mistake. I mean, he's continuing to warp in Zealots, which are the perfect response to all these Lings, but he needs to get that wall up. And this is so infuriating to watch happen. Now, oh, no transfuse available. This one Void Ray has almost no health. Lots of action going on both sides of the field. Mutalisks could be on the way. I think it's a great choice that he's transitioning into Phoenixes. Queens are going to come in here and chase these Void Rays off, but meanwhile, back at home, Stardust has finally begun to clean up. But Nurchio has Burrow. Who the hell researches Burrow against Protoss? Nurchio does. So these Lings will not even be fully cleaned up. Can always come back in for round 2 if Stardust moves out of the base. Now, meanwhile, another Zealot warp in here, going to start cleaning units up. He's trying to rebuild that third base, but Stardust is going for that weird contain. 8 Mutalisks on the way. Now, Phoenixes and Void Rays in low numbers do not contend too well with Mutalisks, especially when there's Queens on the ground. This is looking pretty... Actually, this is looking a lot better for Stardust than it was about 10 seconds ago. The Spore Crawlers are, of course, taken out almost instantly. He's got these Queens to deal with, but he's got the Zealots here to deal with the Queens. And the Phoenix is now going to start engaging on top of the Mutalisk. Transfuses are going down, but guys, there's a little bit too much for Stardust. He's got the momentum running. He picks up the Queens. The Phoenixes are going to help control the anti-air. There's nowhere near enough Mutalisks left on the field. And Gratz, wow. Stardust manages to win that game, giving him the championship of today's Weekly Cup. I call it championship, but really he just won €75. No small fee, of course. Some good money.